Hi, and welcome to LNA Does Audio Stuff. Hey, Ableton Live 12 is out, and I've been using it now for a couple of months. I made a couple tracks with it as well. So in this video, I want to talk about how Ableton Live 12 is now part of my workflow, which of the new features I actually love. I'm also going to show you samples on why I enjoy them. And I'm also going to talk about which features I have struggled a little bit, and I'm going to talk about each one of those case by case. I'm not going to be able to talk about every single feature in this video, so please comment below other features that you would like me to cover on this channel, and I can make some tutorials. Also, please subscribe to this channel because I need your love and validation, and I'm going to get it through those likes. We're going to start with the browser. So the browser is very talked element, and to be honest, it's the one that I've struggled the most. Is it because of the new update, or is it because it's taken me a while to get used to it? Example, one of the things that is new is here, this filter area. Something that I struggle the most is that when I go to audio effects, it doesn't have those groups anymore like in Live 11. So example, if you want to add color, you go to the group that says color and you will find all these pedals, saturation, everything under that category. You don't really know what you're looking for before you go to the actual folder. And then you're like, oh yeah, I could use that one. So that's kind of what I've been struggling with until literally a couple days ago, I figured out that it's maybe been because of me. So when you go to filters, I've created those same categories here by myself. So we go edit, and then here, devices, under this category, I could add a tag. So example, color, delay, dynamic devices, EQ, filters, mods, so modulation, reverb, resonance, utilities. And then I can go through each one of them and add, there was one that wasn't added, cabinet, color. So I can add each one of them into one of these tags. So when I now open filter, I can go color. I see all the different devices that are under color. And I like the fact that I can do the same with plugins. I have not done that yet because there's quite a lot of plugins and it's going to take time to do that. But example, now what I've been using it is Baby Audio, and then I find the Baby Audio plugin that I really like using. I think I struggled with it because I was kind of ignorant what you can actually do with this whole filter area. But if you're not really familiar with Ableton Live and how it works, you might not know how to add these different categories. Example, what different devices go under color, which ones go under delay and dynamic devices. You might not be familiar with this concept. So in a way, Ableton could add these ones here already, just to cater for those people who might not know. But for me, this really worked right now. If you would like to learn to make tracks in Ableton Live from start to finish, I do have a course. It's around 7 hours long, and it teaches you how to make a track from start to finish in really much in detail, like every single bit. Also, there's beginners courses for push 2 and push 3 and live performance course coming up very soon. The course is taught in Ableton Live 11, but it also works in 9, 10, as well as now also 12. Cool. So let's talk about Meld. I'm not 100% got used to Meld yet, but I do find it quite intuitive when I have been using it. So I like the fact that the categories are easy to find and navigate. So envelopes, LFO, the matrix, MIDI, MPE. We also have the A oscillator, B oscillator, and then we have the settings. Oh yeah, and we can also extend this, which is nice, to the mod matrix. Whee! And we have also A and B there. One thing that I really enjoyed with Meld was this thing that we have actually crackle and rain and bubble. I found this and I was like, oh my God, sound design. So we could create some really cool sounds. I also like the density and intensity. So this is the density of the oscillator, and then intensity is the change in some functions depending on which oscillator we're using. Example, we could create something like this. Or we had the rain. Oh, that's nice. multiband. I feel like I want to explore that even more and the different capabilities of it, but already a big fan of that. It's quite simple to navigate, and that's pretty big thumbs up. Okay, Roar. So anyone who's already watched any of my live streams on Patreon, by the way, I stream in Patreon. I do most of my tracks in there. Anyone who's been following that knows that Roar is a big to me. So example bass. Let's have a look at this bass that I created part of my latest track. Good Choices. I forgot the name for a moment. Chorus. Okay, so if we have this here and we have Roar over here, firstly, I love how it opens up. It looks quite like there's so much drive happening, but I love the versatility of it. I love that we have modulation matrix. We have also, this is my favorite aspect. So we have we can actually add single, serial, parallel, multiband, mid-side and feedback processing for the signals. But my favorite is multiband. The fact that, example, if we're doing sound design for a bass, it allows us to control the low, mid and high frequencies and add resonance and drive to them, to each one of those bands separately. Oh yeah, I could just take these off. So that's just the low one. The mid one. I added soft, sine wave. And I like that I can also change the bias of it. So does it affect? It affects the sound differently and the signal. And then we have the amount and then frequency, which also, each one of them have their own filter. So versatile, so easy to use. On the top of that, we have obviously LFO1, LFO2, envelope follower, which is built into it, noise, which is great for bass, any kind of sound design, synths, lifts, drops, whatever we want to create. Plus we have the modulation matrix. So example, I could connect LFO1, which I have, to filter frequency 1, and they're pumping like that. And that adds a lot of, so without them, it's quite smooth. And with the LFOs on the modulation matrix, it complements, that movement complements a lot of the ducking effect that is happening. So big thumbs up for that. Okay, tuning. This tuning area here on the top has been very practical because firstly, it reminds me what tuning it is that I'm in. So example, I'm in A minor now. If I sometimes in the beginning of a track drop something in, it recognizes the tuning of it and it tries to change that. So sometimes you need to be kind of careful that it doesn't change it. But otherwise, I do like it because then it automatically on the clip editing window gets A minor in here as well. So been liking that. Okay, clip editing view, we are here. So it looks like this, and there's quite a lot of new features here. I like the humanize aspect. So I clicked it and you see that it's slightly off the grid. So it adds swing, and especially for hi-hats, anything kind of MIDI drums, anything like that. It's been really practical. Add intervals, I definitely have been using this. So I can just go create chords by adding example 7th here to the chord, and it just automatically adds the 7. Great function. Just again makes your workflow faster. This abbreviator here, try to use it a couple times. It's not been super intuitive for me yet. I don't know if the reason is because I've been using the basic abbreviator in Ableton Live for so many years. Again, it might be just that I'm just need to get used to it. But basically it works the same way. So I can just go example for these chords, I can go chord trigger and it just pops it over there. There's so many sounds. I have used the other abbreviator. There's an updated version of the regular abbreviator here. And I have enjoyed seeing the visual representation of the notes here on it, which was not there before. So that is a very great addition. Something else I have enjoyed is that these are here now. Note envelopes MPE are here. I feel like they're fast to access than before. So it's super fast to just go and select whatever you want to modulate or automate inside of the clip. Also, we have the MPE section here, and this has been something I definitely have been using because I have push 3, and with push 3 you can do MPE. So example, let's see a clip where I've done that. We have the bass. We go to MPE and you see the drawings here. And something that is being really fun to access here is how easy it is to go and add MPE. Even if you don't have an MPE controller, you can create some really cool shapes by just manually clicking them. You can do that with Ableton Live 11 as well, but I do enjoy how more clear this view is. So that has been great. The last thing we have is the mixing window. So when we're in arrangement view, one of my new absolute favorites is to be able to see the mixing window here in this view. I have been definitely using this a lot. When before I did go to this side here and use the little logos to open return tracks, open sends, IO settings, as well as now the mixing. Everything here is now on this drop-down menu on the lower right corner. Because they are behind a drop-down window, I find it a bit more clumsy to go and click it here. But I have found that the shortcuts for all that is very practical, and I've now started to use them and I don't have that issue anymore. It's like go here and click and use that little arrow there and go sense and volume and in and out. Example, it's Alt Command M is the mixing window, Alt Command I is the IO settings, Alt Command B is the browser, Alt Command R is the return tracks, and Alt Command S is the sends. Actually pretty freaking practical, so I don't have an issue with that. Otherwise, I haven't had any issues with CPU or glitching or crashing down or working with plugins. I've actually had a pretty good time with Ableton Live 12. Not even pretty good, very good time. And I made this track. And it's out now. So this year I am making 12 tracks in a year. So 1 track per month. If you would like to also be a bit more productive or just find confidence in your creativity, in Ableton Live skills, whatever it is, come and join my Patreon because I have the nicest community of, they call themselves Scroll Squad. So come and join us and find your creativity 2024. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon, and I'll see you here too again. Bye.